bladed fist.
Hello and welcome to the basement. This is episode number, we're going to say 46.
Did we say that last time?
No, last week was 45.
Maybe.
Maybe, I don't even know. I don't even
Thereabouts. We're just going to call the next one 50, I think. A 50th
I'll actually
anniversary.
I'll actually find out, see where we are.
64, what the fuck?
I know we're not that far.
No, I know we're not.
But no, I'm JD. We're in the wrong fucking order completely.
Just
Go with it.
next.
Across the table from me we have Dusty.
What up?
Fuck you, I was going to say it was me. I was going to confuse the audience.
To my left.
We have Carl.
And to my right.
Hi, I'm Joel.
You don't need to know. Just fuck it. We have no names. Anyway.
That's okay, it matches our man fans.
We do have a few.
Joel, look how close I've got.
We have a few listeners.
We have a few listeners.
I didn't say, there's a difference.
Last week, I haven't got it edited yet. Because my community is like, no, I don't want to see it.
It's on silent.
Joel issued a challenge.
Yes, I did. I
Completely forgot.
Which will actually give us 2 weeks because the other person in this isn't here.
I wasn't here, so I don't know what it was.
The challenge
You're off
was
the show,
to
remember, it doesn't
read
matter.
a comic, and then I want a synopsis of it.
A what?
Synopsis.
Synopsis.
Oh, you went to the book.
I went to the book, I know what synopsis means.
Yeah, so did I.
I forgot.
Synopsis is like a report,
A review.
a review.
There we go.
You tell what happened in said book.
Your carpentry, don't use big words.
You can use big numbers. He likes the big numbers.
But anyway. Haley's not here, so we're not going to actually go into that.
But Josh did it. He gets bonus points.
Yes, I was the one that did it out of the two of us that are here that were part of this. I don't know if Haley did or not.
Probably not.
So, yeah, but I cheated. I have the entire KISS collection of comic books.
That's not cheating. You came prepared.
I have
Well, technically, he didn't go anywhere.
I have the KISS completion.
Mm-hmm.
That's this thick
Compilation.
and it's like 1,200 some odd pages, and it's every KISS comic.
Of everyone. Marvel, Dark Horse,
Spawn.
Spawn.
Oh, I want to start reading Spawn comics. Like, the character Spawn.
They're fucked up.
Have you read Deadpool?
Yeah.
By the way, the D&D thing. Spawn.
No.
Why?
He's immortal.
The cape!
The what?
The cape!
The cape.
Spawn doesn't have a cape.
What?
Oh, wait, wrong. I'm thinking Deadpool. Sorry. Wait, Spawn's not immortal. Is he?
Well, might as well be.
Yeah.
You can't kill him. He's basically a demon.
Don't have you looked into the Deadpool video game?
No, I have not.
Last I heard, it's not going to be out for at least like a year and a half.
Deadpool's funny.
It's got a date.
It does now?
Next month.
Those tickets. Like 2 weeks ago or something like that.
The chick at GameStop
Deadpool
last week was
video
trying to
game.
sell it to me.
Wait, what?
The chick at GameStop was trying to sell me. She was like, coming up next month. I'm like, ugh. Like, I had to tell Joe.
Deadpool video game.
Xbox?
I watched the trailer for it.
So have I, like 100 times.
You see, they've actually got it in GameStop to watch it on a little screen thing and everything.
I want to say the name of the game series is Ultimate Alliance. It's a whole all Marvel characters and stuff.
Yeah, that's the Tekken type.
Oh my
so-called.
god,
No,
he
it's
breaks
not.
the third barrier in the game also.
Yeah,
He
that's
always
the whole-
does.
In
If
the
he-
comic. But he was
But
in
that's
a
the whole
couple
thing with doing it in the video game too.
They had to, or else no one would like it.
Well, they had a few
That's why-
Deadpool games before, and he never addressed the audience, the player directly.
How much are you spending on this video? Fuck it, I'm going all out.
It's a third-person fighting game, but it's you have 4 superheroes with you at one time. You're fighting.
So I thought that was
What I was gonna say is at one point, if you're playing as Deadpool, and you open up a conversation with Black Widow at one point in the comic, he flat looks and he's like, I have just one question for you. Are those real?
Nice.
Your teeth, they're just so shiny and white.
Yep. Deadpool's one of my favorites.
I just like the fact that he's not actually a hero.
Yeah, release
Ghost
date.
Rider.
That's totally why Ghost Rider's one of my
June
favorites. I was about
25th.
to bring him up. Ghost Rider would be able to
Freaking penance stare.
beat.
Anything
Which
really.
rider? Slade, Blaze, or
Johnny Blaze, all the way.
But if you
the
watch
guy
the,
after Blaze had more powers.
but if you watch
I
the
don't
trailer,
think Blaze had penance stare.
Actually, did.
He did?
Yes, he did.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
if you watch the trailer for Deadpool's game, one of the things like in between says best game ever. Deadpool's ball. It's the source.
Oh.
That's awesome.
And it's just like it's hysterical.
The Ninja Turtles ad we saw. Did I watch that with you?
No, you didn't watch that with me.
Like Raphael pounding on people?
Not me. Oh wait, I do. I may have watched it. I don't think I'm with you.
No, like Deadpool. I want to get this video game.
Well, now you know it has a date.
Thank God.
Punisher.
Did you guys hear that they're trying to make a Deadpool movie, but they're trying to make it to where it's not going to be rated X, but so many people are like,
You have to.
you almost have to.
It's Deadpool.
It's definitely, they're trying to actually be like, no, we're going to make it PG-13. They're like, it needs to be at least R.
Yeah.
They're like, without it being R, it will not be Deadpool. We already know this. We don't need to see the script. We know for a fact that Deadpool is that raunchy and that vile.
Okay.
Just based off
Forgive my ignorance. Is he Marvel?
Yes.
Okay.
He's from X-Men,
Okay.
more or less.
of
That would end up being like Disney's first
More or
R
less,
movie.
yeah.
If you think about
It
it, because
should be rated X though with him.
Oh
we
yeah.
get it, like even if they get away with it and did R, that would be Disney's first.
based
R
off
movie.
of just his
That's why.
personality when he
That's
can
why they're like,
actually
no, we want to make
speak.
it PG-13.
What actor do you think should voice him?
Ryan Reynolds. Deadpool? Ryan Reynolds.
That
In
voice
Origins.
was too high pitched for what I pictured Deadpool. I pictured him having more of a
When it comes to the actors, Ryan Reynolds is the only one that can pull off that attitude.
I'd go
He
for
pulled it off so well in Origins. I'm like, if they make a movie, he needs to be Deadpool.
I was going
Was it
for
Ryan
Terry.
Reynolds the one that got the role for Green Lantern?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Deadpool in Origins. And I'm pretty sure he's also in another superhero movie. He's a huge nerd.
It's just me, but I would have gone for like Jim Carrey for some of that. Stuff.
No.
No, it's
Dude, Deadpool,
wrong,
no.
wrong type of zany.
Yeah.
Like
He's not a
Deadpool's like, haha, I just came in your eyeball.
same with
And he's a huge smartass.
him playing the
Oh, I
Riddler.
know.
It was fine with that Batman movie because that was, in my
Cheesy.
opinion, that was more of an ode to the Adam West Batman,
Oh yeah, the funny.
and that the Frank Gorshin that played the Riddler in that. Jim
Tommy
Carrey
Lee
was
Jones' best Two-Face.
was a great combination.
Yeah.
So I feel as though it worked fine for that. But if you were to try and do a more actual closer to the comics, Jim Carrey is not right for the Riddler.
God no.
He's too much of an idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
The Riddler's absolutely brilliant.
He is a
and
genius, but he's
maniacal.
crazy at the same time. Just not Jim Carrey crazy.
No. He is legitimately mentally insane.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey or the Riddler?
The Riddler.
Well,
No.
Just in different
Jim
ways.
Carrey. I don't like Jim Carrey.
I love Jim Carrey.
Yeah. You give up, man, out on that one.
But no,
I know. I usually am with about that topic.
The Unnatural Act is a pretty good one. It's on YouTube.
No, seriously, like, who would you guys think would play a better Deadpool than fucking Ryan Reynolds?
I'm gonna sit back for this one because I don't know well enough.
I don't know names. He would be able to help me though.
Come back to him. I don't know characters well enough. I don't read
I
comics.
can't think of anyone's on that. Deadpool isn't actually one of my favorites, so.
What else are they in?
Nope.
I read more Punisher and Ghost Rider than that stuff.
Well, that would fall into that. Almost not necessarily a hero, and just kind of more of a...
Ghost Rider is very a serious person. He was not comical.
No.
I understand that, but not
Neither
necessarily
was Punisher.
a hero. They aren't heroes.
You're talking about the guy that...
Are you trying to say that Ghost Rider isn't a hero? He is all about vanquishing evil at its
but
purest form.
not to save the world. Because
Oh, absolutely! He stops
His primary power as Ghost Rider is the penance stare.
and
I
he,
understand this.
He burns
All-
the souls of people who've committed evil.
I understand.
and
this.
he does it to save the world 1,000 times. He stops Lucifer from taking over the world multiple times.
He also stops because Lucifer told him to. He's like, "Hey, my son's coming. Can you make him go away?"
Just because I'm deciding to critique on one thing I actually do know about, they refer to him as Mephistopheles in the comics.
Stephen Lynch. Nobody.
I didn't even hear you.
Mephistopheles.
You actually did that pretty well.
Joel just gave me the awkward stare. And he's the only PS1 that we got. You sick bastard! God, you would even worse.
I wouldn't do that.
I didn't even know what's on that.
That'd be like the worst part. Like, I don't even know.
I would cry if somebody broke my last remaining PS1 memory card. It's the only one with my Spider-Man data.
I have 5. I do have to say, I'm not a big Spider-Man fan, but I like the Amazing Spider-Man
The
games
Amazing Spider-Man games?
for the PS1.
Never.
Oh yeah, with symbiote.
PS1 and PS2. I liked having the
Monster Rock was the last boss.
the alternative costumes.
I'm gonna stay out of this conversation. I
Because
don't
this-
want to upset people.
The second one had like 50 alternative costumes. One of them was Bagman. He had this like
I remember that.
sky blue costume with like, if I remember correctly, yellow boots and a no cape. But he wore a bag on his head.
But you
Ben
know
had
what
that
I'm
for
talking about.
Xbox.
The final boss is Monster Rock. It's symbiote crossed with Doc Ock.
Yeah.
But my favorite costume is Venom Spider.
Oh, Venom's a
The Black
badass.
Spider-Man is like the best.
I liked Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 had Spider-Man as
Yep.
an unlockable character.
And
Venom's
Venom.
one of my favorite characters
His-
from Marvel.
The secondary costume for him was Venom. I don't remember Venom having silver on him though.
His,
Silver.
the white is very shiny and almost looks silver.
Okay, thank you.
And
Because
then-
I always saw it as a black and a silver.
it depends on who drew on the graphics at the time or
Yeah.
who drew
Yeah.
the images.
I-
Different artists will put
I
different
put it more
coloring.
on the graphics for Tony Hawk because Tony Hawk's graphics are
Black Spider-Man.
even for PS1 were shitty.
Questionable, yeah.
The Venom Spidey was silver, though Venom himself was more often white markings.
There was
But
also
the webbing on the Venom Spider costume was relatively silver looking.
there was also another Spider-Man costume in Tony Hawk that was like silver and blue.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
It looked kick ass.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Like a dark blue?
yeah.
Okay, that's the one I'm thinking of. I feel better now.
The Ben Reilly costume was pretty weird looking.
I'm actually gonna look that up now because I want to look at it.
I also want to say that the guys at GameStop and Woodward made me feel a whole lot better. I told you.
What happened?
He was telling me, I was talking to him about classic systems, and we were talking about the N64. I'm like, I just bought one. And he's like, what color? I'm like, I have one searching for it because one remind me of my childhood. I'm like, ice blue one. He goes, that's sick. He goes, I thought you were going to say the purple one. I was going to be like, yeah, alright. Okay, but no, the ice blue one's sick. I said, I paid $75 for it. He goes, really? That's a steal. He goes, you paid half of what you should have.
Nice.
I'm like, I feel better now. I was feeling like, why'd I spend $75 on an N64? Then he said that, and it's like, you paid half of what you should have. I'm like, I feel better.
Something's worth $150.
$300 if you get the box.
Good God.
I want the gold
That's
one.
they made very few of them in that color.
Yeah, the blue one was rarer. But I think the green one was rarer than the blue.
I'm more of a PC gamer than
I had a
console
black
gaming,
one.
so I'm not really familiar with Nintendo as much.
I'm more console than I am.
I used
PC.
to be big into Nintendo than the
I'm kind of
PS1
a
came
hybrid.
out.
I'd call
Or
myself a
I
hybrid.
got a PS1
Because I played so many flight simulations on computer.
I used to be good at the flight games for the computer, but I got so out of practice and I can't do it without the flight stick.
Joystick.
The joystick, yeah, I can only do it with the joystick.
But once I started playing PS1, I completely stopped playing N64. Because I
See-
just got hooked in Medal of Honor.
I didn't have an N64. I was playing NES and sometimes a Super Nintendo until to be realistic, the PS2 came out. Because the PS1 that I have, that's the PS1 that came out after the 2.
Yeah.
And they actually put a number to it.
I still hate the people who say Medal of Honor is a ripoff of Call of Duty.
Medal of Honor
That
came
is
first.
so aggravating. Yeah, Medal of Honor has been around since the PlayStation 1. The first Call of Duty came out for PS2. What, a year or two after it came out, or was it one of the first
I don't
games?
know.
Wasn't it on Sega too?
You know, I do believe there was a Medal of Honor for Sega. I'd have to check my box.
Didn't it come out for the Dreamcast?
I don't know. All I know is I remember playing the first one. Then the second game, Medal of Honor Underground, you played as a chick. And there was so much ridiculous sci-fi crap to that game. Like you had dogs who, when they'd spot you, they'd stand up onto their hind legs, dance, and then run after you, or you'd see a half-track go by and it's being driven by a dog, and there's a dog using a machine gun on the back of it. There was so much weird stuff to that game.
We were talking Metal Gear, right? I didn't just...
We're talking Medal of Honor.
Oh, Medal of Honor. Sorry. That's what I was thinking. Yes, that's the one I was thinking of.
What?
That was the one I always used.
That's the one I always used.
It was
Yeah,
awesome.
I was thinking Metal Gear, I'm sorry. And that was out on frickin'...
Metal Gear's been out longer than like Final Fantasy.
That came out
almost.
in 87.
Final Fantasy?
It's one of the only ones that is like that old that is still going today.
Do you know Final Fantasy started off in arcade?
Really?
Yup.
Wasn't that originally pinball machine stuff?
There was a pinball machine that was a second Final Fantasy game, but it was originally made as an arcade
So you're
game.
sticking 2 buttons.
Kind of like Galaga
Now
and
it's
stuff
like,
like that.
fucking complicated as hell, and
It's still turn style based.
I understand that, but it's still complicated as hell because like there's so
Not
many
really.
different- Okay.
You got kick and punch, and then you got the one stick to shift in different directions to change moves.
You never played any of the Final Fantasy games, have you?
I'm thinking of Ultimate Fighter, not Final Fantasy.
That's a bit of a difference.
Yeah, because Final Fantasy is extremely complicated at this point.
I have actually
and like
never played that.
detailed and fucking.
All I've seen of
Intense.
Final Fantasy is the
I've played
videos.
even up to Final Fantasy X2. It's not that.
I don't know. It just has so
It's
much
strategy.
more in it now.
It's strategy.
Like I said,
That and just like the storyline and things that they put into it. There's so much more at this point.
Chocobos!
like, the
No, it
videos
was-
for Final Fantasy.
Don't you shit on
Battle
chocobos.
Royale.
I will slit your throat.
I know it. I just haven't
Cloud.
heard that word out loud in so long. Cloud. They actually did something. Cloud sword?
Don't tell me they powder puffed it.
No. It is possible to have a sword that you could use being that big. There are metals that are hard enough to be able to make a sword out of, and light enough to make it that big
And wieldable.
and wieldable.
But no,
It would just be very impractical, but still, you could do it.
Medal of Honor
The
was...
same thing goes for a claymore. It's a little narrower, but
A
it's
little.
still a 3-inch blade.
And it's
Cloud's sword
sword-
is like 4 feet.
It's not 4 feet.
no, it's at least
about
18
one.
inches
Oh,
at
yeah.
least, and it's also about 12 feet long.
No,
You gotta keep
he's only like 4'11", and it's the end of the handle is like 3 inches taller than him.
You gotta keep in mind,
And it also goes into the ground while he walks.
A little bit.
forged
Yeah,
out
I
of
watched this whole
solid
thing.
iron, a
Look up,
3-inch wide blade is gonna be heavy. Because
Yeah.
you're talking 3 inches wide, about a half-inch thick at the very center of the blade,
His also goes
and a
about
good
that thick.
5
Oh.
feet long. So a claymore itself would be a heavy-ass weapon.
My dad has one. It's about 25 pounds.
There's some that are heavier. This is probably steel.
You know, steel's heavier than iron. You have to make steel with iron.
Yeah, but there's also aluminum and lighter metals in iron. I mean, in iron, in steel.
Okay.
That
It's
lessen
not
the
solid
density.
iron. Iron is heavier.
Steel is iron and tin.
Because
And tin's less dense than iron, so it'd make it lighter.
what they put into the steel
It's less dense.
Yeah, drops its density, which somehow makes it lighter.
This is it, Joel?
Yes, that is exactly it.
51 inches overall. Blade width, 7 inches. Blade length,
That's
36 and a half.
Yeah.
That's a mini size.
That it has to be
3-foot blade.
51 inches is
3-foot blade. The hilt came to here.
3 foot is 36.
Yeah. That blade was like at least 4 feet tall.
So
The
he's
hilt,
what in height?
the hilt is here. He was like 4'11", something like that.
See, I
Wait a
read that
minute,
he was
so
almost
you're
6
talking
feet tall.
about a guy who's a foot shorter than me.
Yeah.
50-something inches is about here on me.
Yeah.
So if he's a foot shorter than me, that will be just above his head.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but the blade length was
Yeah.
only 36 inches, which would
Wait,
be
didn't
about here.
Yeah, I know.
I know, because that's about how tall Sari is. She's 37 inches.
I'm on the wrong page at this point, Carl.
That was a mini-size replica. Now, if you want to talk about long swords, you can talk about Sephiroth's 12-foot long sword.
Oh yeah.
The
Katana. On roids.
no, I'm thinking of a different sword. The Inuyasha. Tetsuga. Freaking rusty ass little piece of junk. He pulls it out of the sheath and it goes boom! Bigger.
That's just defy physics. It's anime. It's allowed to.
How did we get in the sword topic anyway from Middle Water?
Because I was
Metal
talking
Gear
about-
Solid, and then I said it's almost as old as
You
Final
said it was
Fantasy.
older than
Went to
Final
Final Fantasy and then Final Fantasy drifted off to Cloud, which drifted to Cloud's sword.
I'd still put my money on Zidane 1,000 times against anyone. Final Fantasy 9, people.
Never played the Final Fantasy games.
I've only seen the video.
It's a PS1 game that has better graphics than any Xbox game I've ever seen.
Really?
Watch the YouTube the opening scene to Final Fantasy 9.
Wait, the cutscenes or the gameplay itself?
Gameplay itself was better than any PS2 game I've ever seen. It's
Cloud
PS1.
stands. I stand corrected. He stands at 5'7".
Yeah.
Just above his head, so
It actually
you're
comes
talking
to
about
armpit level.
armpit level, so 5.
And-
So, I'm
Roughly-
5'7" on shoes, so it would be about this high off the ground.
which
And it would
is-
be about that wide.
That's about 12 inches.
That would be a huge sword.
That'd be at least, I'd say about 4'11" right here.
6
It'd be-
feet's what?
It'd be about a
72
50-pound
inches?
sword.
Yeah.
At least.
Anyway,
To your armpit? What's this? I'm 5'2". Okay.
so about 5 inches shorter than you. So about 4'8".
The end of the handle came up just above like how his hair spiked up right there.
51 inches
and just above
is
that.
4 and 3 inches. 4'3" is 51 inches, so
Yeah, but we're talking blade height.
hold on a second. I'm trying to think of
From
something.
ground to floor, that's how tall the blade is.
Yeah, not sword
Set-
height.
but-
That sword height is what the blade actually was.
So that'd be about a 5-foot blade.
Yeah.
So you're just
5
talking
feet
about
or
a
61
claymore that's
inches.
a little wider.
It's a lot wider.
And it's only one side blade, the other side is that thick.
Yeah.
That would be the heaviest fucking motherfucker around
If you hit something with it, it's going down.
if you lift
Aircraft
it.
aluminum.
It's about they were saying something like about aircraft aluminum. You could
Mm.
because it is hard enough that you could make
It
it
wouldn't hold an edge right.
Put-
with something that big and heavy. It
You can
wouldn't
put an
need
edge
to.
on edge to it.
It
And
wouldn't
make the
hold one
majority.
after 2 hits. In a combat sword, it would not hold an
When I
edge.
say put an edge to it, make the majority of the weapon from aircraft aluminum, then put a steel edge to it, and you
You
can
could.
work it, attach it on there.
Yeah, you could, I suppose.
Kind of like the one they actually.
But he does
made-
drill 2 massive holes out of it, so it shows that it's completely solid. It's not hollowed.
Just looks like a giant razor blade because it's got the holes
Yeah.
in it.
Basically,
I still put my one on Zidane.
You're gonna have a what ride?
Yes, I am.
He just drops his head.
I'm wearing the full face, bitch.
you are the driver.
I was gonna say it's more important than he has a full face.
My
In the
cousin would have really nasty scars if it weren't for the fact that when he had a motorcycle, he had a full face helm.
What?
somebody wrecked on the highway ahead of him, and he had to drop his bike on the side to prevent from going into the wreck.
You know, you could stop better if you actually brake as opposed to dropping the bike.
He's on a crotch rocket going
Doesn't make
almost
a
80
Yeah,
miles
if
an
anything,
hour.
that will stop faster than a cruiser.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
have
why-
more surface area and more tension on the ground with the tires and the brakes.
With
Then
a
the
crotch rocket.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Crotch rockets have more braking power than my cruiser.
they need
Yeah, but
to.
if you slam the brakes on a crotch rocket going almost 80 miles an hour, won't you have possibility of flipping?
If you
if
just
you-
slam
if-
on the front brake.
And you lean forward, yes, you would, but you'd have to be a complete retard to do that.
If anything, you're gonna push up, pull the front brake and the rear brake,
And
just be like-
downshift. You should be downshifting instead of
Keeping
rear
in mind,
brake.
this is the same one that in high school him and his buddies chained a porta potty to the back of a car and dragged it down the highway.
See, then he's just
There's
a
not
fucking
many
moron.
brain cells there to begin with.
See, that's people like that shouldn't be driving motorcycles.
No, not at all.
Yet he's now a highly paid engineer for GE.
Not how to get a job at GE.
Not
Not how to get a job at GE.
Eh. But he still well paid, sent overseas to different places, so
I had a guy try to convince me to go over there for the machine shop. Because
hey,
they were
You could
hired.
be working with my uncle.
They were
Phil.
hiring them. They had an opening for a
That'd be
good
kind
number
of
of
funny if you
machinists.
started working with my uncle.
And this guy tried talking to me, what are you making now? I'm like, $12 an hour. He goes, should be making more at GE. I'm like, I work with my father. My father is teaching me while I'm doing this. I don't know that much. And so he still tried to convince me to go over to GE. It's like, no, Dad told me, no, don't go to GE. He had tried there and saw how they work and whatnot.
Where my uncle works with GE is fixing the parts that get made wrong and sent over for aircraft.
I'd be the one making them. I don't know if it would be aircraft, but
But this
They would
is
come
stuff
from the-
that's made overseas that comes here and it's made wrong.
Excuse me, I'm not actually flashing. I'm fixing my underwear. Bunched up.
But
in
anyway.
it.
Carrying on.
back to where we were.
I want to go back to the D&D thing. Would that be okay?
Yes, because that's
Carry on, my friend.
we were in the middle of that when we got sidetracked with other stuff.
ADD.
So anyway, I was thinking about making like some ideas just out in the open for people just to either use them or get a concept to base it off of. I was thinking of I'm gonna have mine based off of Nightcrawler
That would be awesome.
Sabretooth.
But you'd have to
or Gambit.
Yeah, I'm also
Go-
thinking Gambit.
with Nightcrawler or Deadpool. I'm pretty sure most Deadpool's stuff they do this with, they teleport.
Deadpool doesn't.
Doesn't Deadpool?
No.
In the movie, he does.
Serious?
In some of the
In
games,
Origins, it's because he also took powers from other mutants.
in
He wasn't Deadpool then.
Ultimate
I know.
Alliance,
He was,
which
he was Project X.
the Ultimate Alliance game was made before Origins was even started,
Deadpool
and he
can't teleport.
teleported.
He can't teleport.
But either way, Nightcrawler. Let's just go with that, okay?
I'd base it off of his age though.
Where
Oh,
he
yeah.
can teleport,
But
you'd
more
have to
people
set
know.
specific distances he could shift.
And
if
if
you're
he can
going
see
off of his powers.
Well, it's as far as you can see, which differentiates on lighting. Which he's dark vision, so that doesn't make a difference.
So
And
like
that's
you
according
said,
to
you
the
have
comic
to.
book, he can see full color in pitch black. I thought that was like the coolest thing ever.
That is
So like
pretty
I said, you'd have to set a maximum distance he could teleport.
As far as
He
you can
did.
see, so you don't end up in a wall.
Yeah.
That's
And
what,
with Azazel, his father,
with so much experience,
That's
you can
the-
he can-
justify things better.
that and the fact that he can teleport anywhere he's been.
That's the one in
That's what it was.
First Class, right?
Yeah, the
The
red
red
guy,
one?
the devil.
Yeah.
That guy's
We
so
were actually in
fucking
debate. We're like,
so
what if?
creepy. Grabs hold of somebody, teleports into the sky. Let's go. Teleports down, grabs someone else, repeats.
And literally, we'll
Just
be on the ground watching them.
People aren't even landing. They're already like 4 people later, up in the air.
He could do that. He could.
He had a faster
Yeah.
teleport too,
Oh, yeah.
because he's been doing it for so long.
Oh, yeah.
But Azazel never teleported his way across an ocean, and Nightcrawler has.
True enough.
From Genosha, which is over by Europe, back to America.
You mean Genovia?
Genosha. Oh, I thought, never mind.
Across the English Channel.
I'll probably end up going with Hawkeye.
Yeah, you think about Hawkeye? I was thinking about
Hey, it
a
could
couple
stay- it
different
could basically be
options.
no
I was
different
either
than what
gonna
you
give him
normally
a
have.
retardedly powerful bow, or the arrows option. I might leave that up to you, whichever one you'd rather have. If you want arrows options, you come with the ideas of the arrows on your own, and then I'll figure out the damage for them to even them out. Because you're gonna have to keep up with if anyone picks Thor or anything like
if
that.
Dan Kelly plays.
Yeah. Yep.
That's why I'm already picking Gambit, because I know
the War
He's not
Machine.
gonna do it.
Yeah, Snowman. I didn't think he would.
Nah, he doesn't have the time.
Nah.
Joel, if somebody goes for Iron Man,
I
the
wouldn't let
different
it.
styles of suits,
I wouldn't
the
let
War
it.
Machine.
If we do a past tense, which I might start us off with just to see how it would play out, there wouldn't be guns. Iron Man would be useless. No technology, no computers.
Hitler.
You could be as smart as him, but I don't know how far it'll get you.
I was gonna say, I'd say put it in
Frickin'
modern day.
Hulk.
I was thinking of something in between.
Captain
So-
America.
Like, not quite full modern, but either World War One.
I was gonna say that somewhere like the 1930s or
Yeah, something
Um,
a little bit past, so we can definite stuff without there being like, I'm gonna pick up a noob tube. No.
yeah.
Question.
That's why I feel as excuse me for 1 second. Let me voice my opinion. The 1930s were good because you have that's when a lot of the comic books started. It's a good era. You're not gonna have you have guns and you have
But they're not retardedly powerful.
exactly you have your basic rifles and
was-
your basic handguns.
I was also
Automatic
thinking.
weaponry is just emerging at the time.
I was also thinking Midwestern.
You can do Midwestern. You got
Because- I don't know why. I just think that'd be fun.
Work Jesse James in
In this
You
theory,
could totally work Jesse James. But if we did 1930s, I'd change my guy to be Ghost Rider. Just saying, I want a motorcycle.
I don't think I like the thing. I like the idea of the 1930s.
I do too.
if you go off of Captain America, there's Shuriken already in it, right? In D&D.
Oh yeah.
So with Captain America, you go down to the fact he has the shield that he throws from time to time, so it would just be a retardedly powerful Shuriken in thought.
I'd make up a whole new damage system for that shield.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be much different than the Shuriken that are already in there.
Well, except for Shuriken's this big.
Have you seen the size of fucking Shuriken that there was in real life? They've made bigger than just little teeny stars.
Yeah, but that's what the game's based off. They only do 1 damage.
Yeah.
True.
That's why he's going
Captain America's shield would do a whole lot more than just 1 damage.
Considering he's
If,
got super
you got
strength.
Thor's
The-
Mjolnir and Captain America's shield working together, and they just go. Boom!
The only thing we've
His shield is the only thing that can take a direct hit
Not
from
true.
that hammer.
I feel like Juggernaut in full speed.
That
On the
would
helmet.
In theory, otherwise it would look like a freaking home run.
If
Fastball.
Juggernaut stopped, absolutely. But if Juggernaut's up to full speed, I'm telling you, that'd be a force.
I don't know if Juggernaut could slam full speed on Thor without taking a severe amount of damage from that hammer.
If it hits dead helmet, the way that helmet's designed from the comic book, not from anything else, but from the comic book,
Nothing would happen. It
I'm
would-
going-
it would destroy the Earth. I'm pretty sure.
Same with the shields.
Split in half.
Yeah.
If he full
If he did a
strength,
full swing and the Captain America did a push up against it,
It
like
would-
into
But
a
the
lunge,
main reason that the vibranium, the alien metals that they mixed in with the adamantium is why it takes the shock.
Vibranium's actually from Wakanda. Just saying.
The movies. Have you seen Ultimate Avengers movies? They did a whole thing about the alien. It's actually it came down in meteors.
the
It's an
movies
alien
change stuff
metal.
around.
No, that's true. That it landed in
Chitauri.
Wakanda. That's where the Black Panther.
Yeah.
You're right.
dude, the
sorry.
Black Panther's actually badass, but they'll never make a movie out of him. And they
He was in a
say
movie.
No, he's saying his own movie.
That's true.
he'll never have his own movie. They say, because not many people know about him and no one would be interested. No, to be honest, it's for racism. Because the black version of KKK, guess what it's called? Black Panthers.
The only reason I know that is from
Forrest Gump. High five. Try this again. There we go.
So,
Same.
But it was, like I said, that's the reason it can take the hit from Thor's hammer is because of the metal it's made from.
Yeah.
It completely and utterly absorbs,
and
Impact.
redirects it.
It doesn't absorb it at all. It completely redirects it.
So if Dan Snow was doing this, I feel a feeling he'd go with Captain America.
Dan Snow?
I'd want it.
Yeah, but Dan still would fight you for it. He's bigger than you are.
And he would
Yeah.
literally fight you.
He already choked you out once.
Granted, he was in the military at the time.
He could still choke you out right now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he couldn't, but I'm still making a point on that subject.
Even with his bum knee, he could take you out.
Regardless.
I'm afraid of him. I am afraid of Snow.
Who aren't you afraid of? When it comes down to pure skill versus physical ability.
Him.
That's because he knows I got his back. And so does Carl.
I mean,
He's just
theory.
staring me down.
me and Joel are pretty evenly matched.
Yeah.
You ever seen a redneck fight?
Exactly.
I couldn't do the backhand wrestling anymore. I don't think so.
Really, your shoulder bad?
With that shoulder, I don't know if I'm able to do what I used to be able to do.
I feel like you will, just probably not this summer.
I'd wait a
Next
while.
summer, I
Yeah.
think you'd be able to.
I
I
know.
would go easy at first.
I'm really fixing that fucking netting.
Yeah, we have to.
My suggestion is
Even
try
men.
and put ropes around outside the netting.
See, my idea was
And
just,
almost shift it into like a giant version of the old TNA ring.
just a new net altogether.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking
I'm
too.
still
I was
thinking-
thinking like a boat rope netting. Like fishing netting?
But like I said,
Thanks.
I was still thinking off the idea of that you should probably put retaining ropes around that shit. Because the hole was caused because people pushed hard into the net and leaned out far.
So 1930s.
You see what
I
I'm
forget
saying?
how the first hole started, but Cam jumping through it what ripped it more.
Like I said, if
Because I did the first time, because I'm light, I could swing up and over the net. I could grab one of that pole and swing myself over it.
the netting put
There
the
was a
barrier.
hole, and Cam would.
I started the hole, and Cam finished the hole.
You started it?
Yep. What it was is I was in the air, and Cam decided to push me, and I hit my my like shoulders area up against the hole, and my butt went through the top of it and ripped it about that much. And then later, Cam tried to do something.
Cam went to try and swing like I did and just let go, but swing through it.
Yeah,
But something happened, a leg got caught or something.
and it just went rip all the way down.
But what I'm saying is the net creates a barrier. If you put the ropes behind it, you also have something with rigidity that'll stop them from pushing into the net hard enough to cause holes.
But if we just get a whole new system of, I'm thinking fishing.
Heavier grade
like-
netting.
No, I'm talking straight up rope.
Oh,
Like fish, like what you see like a cargo,
Boat rope.
like up when you like
a
around
cargo
boat.
net.
Yeah, cargo net, like what you see on like one of those old pirate ships.
Mhm.
Or in every like gymnasium across America.
We never had one at the boat or at.
Maybe he's talking like an actual like gymnastic gymnasium.
Wait, the Volks gym had a car net.
No, it didn't. Where was it?
We
Been up
had volleyball net.
You're talking up at the ceiling. We had nothing because my hack stack would have got stuck up there when Cam did his dive flip. We just had rafters.
I'm thinking back
We
to
also
Stone's
had that
middle
one
school.
box where it was the AC or something.
Yep.
There's about 12 hacky sacks of mine up there.
Mom went up and over it. I don't know how I didn't get stuck.
I,
It flew right to go
there's
through it.
like 4 of my sand hacks up there.
It flew right to go through there and come down the other end of the gymnasium. Remember how Cam was trying to do his
Yep.
handspring?
Yep.
And serve the hack?
Yeah.
And
And launches it.
he's like, I'm glad I didn't actually get to do that this morning. Because remember he kept trying to do it in the courtyard and couldn't
Yep.
do it? He did it in the gym later that day and it sailed clear across the fucking gym the long way.
Yep, that would have landed up front.
I wanted.
We
to,
did have that happen a few times.
I was about to bring a ladder out to the courtyard my senior year because my Marine Corps hack went up on the roof.
Yeah, you would have gotten
So pissed about.
You would have gotten suspended.
I went up on the roof twice.
Yeah, but you could do it and not get caught.
Yeah.
Either that, or you're also a lot better talking your way out of stuff.
Well, you know what it was?
What?
I brought another kid that could run faster than.
Everyone can grin you.
It's like running from a bear.
Oh my god! That was so awesome! I don't know if we told you this, but I know we didn't tell you.
We used to play hacky sack every day in the courtyard at the
And it's
boat.
only one story high around 90%.
So
What
hacky
year
sacks
was
would
this?
get roofed up all the time. I don't
was this?
remember. Junior year,
Junior
senior year.
So,
If it was senior year, I might have been there for it.
No, it was
that
during lunch.
During lunch.
All right.
And so what? One of the girls thought, she said, "Oh, I'll throw my shoe up there." And they'll go up there and get it.
Cam did it first.
Oh, Cam did it first?
Cam took his shoe and hummed it up there.
Yup. And they're like, oh, it slipped off when we were playing hacky sack. We convinced Greg to do it, like, what, that day? Or
Nah,
like,
about a week later.
Anyway, and they said no.
They wouldn't go get his shoe.
They wouldn't go up and get his shoe.
Cam could get away with it because he showed that his shoe could slip off easily.
Yeah,
He
because
took his other shoe and it just
he
slipped
went,
off.
he went whoop, and it just flew off. It's like, okay.
Like, okay. They climbed up and threw all the
Wait.
hacky sacks down. We
But-
didn't end up getting one because someone, I had my foot on one, and they took my leg and threw me on my back. And took the hack.
How many sacks were there?
Like
12?
20.
20? There was a fuck ton up there.
My entire shop went around like, oh, nope, this one's Joel's. I got like 5 or 6 of mine back because my shop loved
I had my foot on one that I knew was mine.
Yep.
And I'm like, I went to go grab it, and they took my foot and just threw me. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, it wasn't me or any of my peons.
No, it wasn't anybody that we knew. It was just somebody like, hey, a hacky sack. And I went to grab one.
Douchebags. Punch him in the eye with next time.
What the fuck?
Remember that time I kicked you in the eye?
I bet if I logged on my MySpace, it's probably still my freaking profile picture.
Wait a minute. Him using me as a weapon against you. Joel kind of swung me like a bat, and he took both my sneakers off the face.
Yep.
Oh shit!
What's best is why I use Haley and Josh, and Kim uses you, Josh.
God.
Haley does not like that. She hits me more than you hit me.
No!
That's also the reason you don't play catch with me anymore.
It's 'cause
Yes, that is very true.
he'd be more like a sword. He's
Ken
got the
is
metal
a-
pieces.
fuck you! Let you fall. I'm like, that's terrible.
I don't even think we're in the trampoline. I think
No.
we're across the street in the ground.
Yeah, it was grass though.
Huh? No. Oh,
Don't flail.
I can't help
It
it.
teaches you right. It's like, that's so cruel.
A couple of my friends saw a video of Cam and Joel on the trampoline that you had put on YouTube. Tried to do their own version.
They got hurt, didn't they?
One of them was in the neck
They
brace.
didn't read my disclaimer. Only to be performed by true morons.
They say
True
do not.
professional idiots.
Say do not try this at home for a reason. We do it because we just don't care.
Actually, my disclaimer on one of them is to be performed by trained idiots only.
Trained idiots.
You know what the Hurricane Rana is, right?
Yeah.
Jump, wrap your legs behind the guy's head, and then whip down and wrench them by the neck. He did that and put his brother in a neck brace.
There was one kid in shop. He grabbed both my arms like this. You can't see this, but he wrapped his arms around mine behind my back. I happened to be standing right near the cage. I'm like, this is where being a cruiserweight's good. I threw my weight back and threw my legs up on the wall. I'm like, let me go. When I have my feet in the ground. It's like, you won't do it. Like, you want to chest me? I will push back and throw you on your ass. He goes, but the jack's behind me. I don't give a fuck.
Good, I'll just try and land on you.
I'm like, I'll land on you.
But what I did to Joel a couple weeks ago, I've done that to my cousin on numerous occasions when he did not realize that I could get the leverage to do that stuff.
Yeah, that surprised the hell out of me. I
Oh,
don't
when
know
I
about you.
Yep.
To do
That's
what?
not the first time I've done that.
No, it's not the first time you've done it to me. I wasn't really that surprised. I was just more impressed.
What did he do?
Spun him. Just
Oh.
If-
Over shoulder spin?
No.
Over
Triple
back?
H, you know the wrestler?
Not
You
that
know what a
much,
spine buster is?
I thought he was a redneck. I thought rednecks
I'm
weren't
not
wrestling.
hick. No, the hicks do.
Shoulder into
Like
the
he'd be on the
gut,
front porch.
hand on the thighs, flip, drop on their back.
Okay. That's an MMA move, but okay.
he doesn't watch MMA. He watches. I don't watch MMA either.
I do.
I watch your
You're
kid.
talking like Ultimate Fighter stuff, UFC, right?
Yeah.
I can't watch that.
You know who does UFC?
Why?
You know who does UFC right now? Tommy Oliver. You
Because
know who Tommy Oliver is?
Power Rangers, the Green Power Ranger.
The
Oh my
orig-
god, you're right.
The original
Oh my
Green
God.
Ranger. He does MMA now.
Do you know the Pink Ranger
that's
does?
ridiculous.
She's on a TV show Sniper. That's the other one. That's the other one.
That,
That's Catherine.
oh.
The yellow one.
No, the
No.
other Pink Ranger. There's
The
two
other
Pink
Pink
Rangers.
Ranger.
The blonde did that one.
Freaking Tommy.
But no.
Oh my god.
Amy Jo Johnson does Flashpoint. She's a
Yep.
elite ops
That'd
Sniper.
be deadly. Oh my god.
What?
Oliver doing MMA. Because he's got like 6 different black belts, doesn't he?
And he also did a shit ton of gymnastics.
I mean, what's his face? Lesnar was wrestling and UFC, so. But he's a freak in general.
Any of you know Chuck Liddell?
Name sounds familiar.
Chuck Liddell?
Chocolate Dell?
Chuck Liddell. Some kind of, yeah.
Well, I'll watch boxing and I'll watch
I
wrestling.
love
How can you
I understand wrestling's fake, but I just think when I look at like UFC, I regard it as more barbaric than anything.
What's wrong with that?
Whatever, it's personal opinions.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, if you like wrestling,
But wrestling's completely fake.
Yeah,
It's all a show.
that's what I mean.
Story.
People aren't actually getting faces broken.
Story, the
Wrestling-
drama.
Purpose.
hasn't been.
It's just-
anything-
It's the storyline behind it is what's interesting in wrestling.
Wrestling hasn't been anywhere close to MMA since Bruno Sammartino and Killer Kowalski. Their time period back in like the 50s and the 40s.
Let's look at it this way. No offense, I've had this for a long time. Wrestling is a man soap opera.
It
Yeah.
really is.
Sons of Anarchy.
Excuse me. His real name isn't Tommy Oliver. That was his character name. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I know. Yeah, but that's...
Jason David Frank.
See, if you say
That's
that,
why it sounds familiar now. I'm like,
Him with long hair.
I knew that
Oh my
wasn't.
God.
I knew that wasn't right when I said something. But
Oops. I've been bounced off of here like 100.5 times.
you get
The
so
first time
recorded.
I missed. I thought it was hitting my eye. I can't lose it. It's for Sari.
You haven't given that to her yet.
one of my
I lost one of them at first.
one of my favorite.
Well, that's him now.
Freaking
Yep.
helmet.
He plays it up. He knows that's what his fan know him for.
Which
And-
is awesome.
See, what he needs to do is come out with have his uniform he wears for it reference Power Rangers.
That
He
might
probably does.
that
It
might
does.
be
If you look at his freaking stuff that he sells, it's got the Power Ranger stuff on it.
Oh my god.
One of my favorite.
I'm trying to think of the movie
UFC
he was
fighters.
in.
Randy Jackson.
But no, his
Beast.
MMA shorts say Jesus didn't tap.
Randy the Rampage Jackson. I'm sure you guys have heard the name.
I've
I
heard of
have.
him.
He's a fucking beast.
Well, he was in
Blue?
multiple.
Oh wait,
That's a
black
black
guy.
kid. He was
I just
in
had
multiple
some-
Power.
I was like, wait a minute.
He was in multiple Power Ranger movies.
Oh my god, yeah.
He's
He's been in
Ivan
multiple
Ooze.
different
Ivan
series.
Ooze. Anyone remember Ivan
I
Ooze?
liked that movie.
What one?
Ivan Ooze.
Oh, who voiced him? What's his name? I think it was the one from Back to the Future was
Christopher
Ivan.
Wood?
Yeah.
It might have been. I can take a look.
I could be wrong, but I could have sworn it was him.
Carl, I want you to come up with like a legitimate couple of people that you wouldn't mind being for the D&D thing. You have time to think.
Any restrictions?
Yeah,
depending on-
no retardedly powerful like Hulk, no. Phoenix, hell no.
No firearms?
Depending.
If we're gonna do the 30s,
Nothing huge.
if we're gonna do the 30s, I'd
No
allow.
Punisher.
Yeah, no.
He's got fucking
Um,
grenades. He's got fucking full auto fucking 45s.
He didn't have
Would you rather use a gun or a bow at this point, Josh?
You know, I do have a love for Hawkeye, so I'm going to stick with Hawkeye and the bow.
Depends on what the other guy's carrying.
And you're
in
gonna
my
use
opinion.
multiple. I'll let you have explosive arrows and stuff too.
He didn't have many, but he did have a short stint. I would put Van Helsing in there as one of them.
He doesn't really have any superpowers.
So
He's Abraham.
neither does Hawkeye.
He's the left-handed god.
But Van Helsing, that's oddly specific to unnatural creatures. I don't know.
But
Is this Olympics? They showed a torch and then people going around it in a bicycle.
It was like they're advertising a watch.
Could be.
It's the Earth.
Solar system.
That's the solar system.
A very accurate solar system.
And this is a clock.
Omega.
That's why.
Yeah.
Omega does all the Olympic scorekeeping clocks.
That's why it looked like Olympics to me. I feel better now.
But
That was a commercial break. Brought to you by Omega.
Joel,
Sponsor.
Kratos.
Kratos? No.
No. No.
Hey, if somebody goes
No.
does Thor, Kratos should be allowed. I'm just saying.
Thor is also actually a comic book character.
And Kratos isn't. And
They
also
put God of War comics, didn't they?
after the game.
I wouldn't. No. That's not like. I want it to be like. Should I do Nightcrawler or should I try and make a Ghost Rider thing? I want to find 1930s bikes. Motorcycles.
It'd be old like World War II bikes.
I know. What, an old Indian?
Yeah.
Which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Caretaker. He had a horse, didn't
He did.
He did.
he? Because he was in like the 1800s. Or
Yeah.
not 1800s,
The
1900s.
cowboy
Why
times.
am I not finding Ivan Ooze
Yeah,
on this?
1800s. There we go.
Cowboy Time works.
Yeah. Westerns. He was in
I've got
Texas
the
Ranger
cast
Western.
list, but
Carter Slade, I think. But
I wonder if this will work. I wonder if this will work. I wonder if this will work. Almost.
That was really fucking loud.
yeah.
yeah, it really was.
Remember the thing with the dog tag?
Mike! Oh!
Old Indian.
Oh, that's why. That's the fucking
Yes, son.
Please stop.
the show, not the.
Holy shit, is that a V? No, it's a four. It's an inline 4-cylinder motorcycle Indian.
Really? You see this thing?
That is beautiful.
Man, turn sideways, please.
It won't.
Well,
It's Google.
That is nice.
Paul Freeman. He did the voice of Ivan Ooze.
Paul Freely?
Paul Freeman.
I know, but it's Ace Freely. Never mind. And Paul.
That's
well,
an old
technically you're
one.
correct. His real name is
That
Paul
would be
Freely.
more-
Doctor.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm saying.
The Doctor.
1 of 11.
Yeah, we gotta leave in like 10 minutes.
What is we should? I don't have to wake up early.
I do.
Go soon as well.
Damn you people.
I'll make a list.
People in your curfews.
Text it to me.
I don't have I don't
But,
have, I have bedtime. That's even worse.
I'd have to really go back. I haven't read comics in a while. The closest to a comic I've been reading lately is Homestuck, which kind of it's called webcomic, I think, but it's different. Have you seen Homestuck at all, Joel?
Homestar.
It's MS Paint Adventures.
Yep.
It's one of their stories. Would that count as comics? Or
See, I want it to be someone that I would know, and I know a lot of superheroes. I need something like
When he doesn't want to go and have to do research on them.
a shit ton. Like, I won't mind if I recognize this. I know what general idea. Then look at specifics. I don't mind doing that, but I don't want to have to read up on comic books that I don't have to.
So easily enough, like the Hawkeye, he knows. I forget what he said. He knows it.
Gambit or Sabretooth. What's your
You know both of those.
because if I really went down to it,
Honestly, it's so
that
much
would be
easier.
one of the people I'd pick.
a human?
He's
Humanoid. Dude, that guy has demon horns.
the entire species does. Each zodiac sign has a different style of horn and different color blood. It's Homestuck.
I wouldn't like.
It wouldn't fit.
Yeah.
Fair.
Trolls. I haven't read actual comic books in a while, so
You
I'd
still
have to
know
really
Here, still know the basics. You guys can go villains too,
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know.
That's why I said Saber.
I could go down to just saying my two favorite villains,
Who?
Two-Face and Venom.
Venom. Venom's a badass. Two-Face doesn't really have any powers, so he'd be useless. He has no special attributes.
He has one hell of charisma. He has one hell of a charisma.
You could,
Comics, going by comics.
That's about it.
if you give
He's got
him a
nothing
special
fancy
gun,
though.
it could come down to give him using a coin instead of a die, and you either crit, fail, or crit, or max out. You know what I'm saying?
To hit. That's a
Where it's Two-Face, that would be his type of thing.
That would be so brutal.
I was just gonna say that could be worse. That could really hurt you
A lot. That could fuck up the rest of our team.
because
A
if you crit,
lot.
because you either crit in a good way, you
It
crit in a
could go
bad
from
way.
anywhere from like putting his own gun to his jaw, or basically walking straight up to the person and just sticking the barrel in their mouth.
Or
I'm standing
Or-
here and you go, hi.
yeah,
Aim at you, and all of a sudden, you get tripped and go, oops, I just shot someone on my own
Take
team.
Juggernaut for instance. Fire the bullet, bounces off his helmet, and kills the person next to you.
that's why I still feel as though you should have to roll because
Magneto.
that way,
Already.
that way you either
Not in a mechanical world.
hit because the coin can either make it really fucking easy, or you're gonna fuck yourself over. You're gonna fuck the team over.
Yeah. I kind of wanted.
Well, that's the thing. The way we have
Thinking
my,
back on
my
Star
gambit
Wars.
thing going.
I'd really want to do Galen
Don't
Merrick.
get into that.
Oh, why?
Don't get into that. That's
He
gonna be a
is-
surprise.
One of my favorites I've ever seen in a comic book.
Captain America?
No, Galen Merrick. The one, Star Killer from Ultimate,
I do have a question though.
Force Unleashed. There we go.
Would you still let me like pick up a rock if I absolutely need to?
I want it to be solely card based. A tarot deck has, I think it's 82 cards. If you can't afford those, you're not running out of cards.
Gambit is tarot cards?
No.
What we're gonna
I
be
was gonna
doing
say-
for the game.
Oh. I was gonna say, hold on.
Playing cards. He's a gambler.
Which actually might put you back to being regular cards, because if it's 1930s,
There would be playing
there's a
cards.
lot of gambling going on in 1930s.
So I would be like
Mm.
a fucking good.
Fucking
Aces
Great
and
Depression. You could get a good storyline going on that.
I could get a massive storyline. I already have one already set up for Hawkeye.
For the 1930s?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, nice.
My brain never stops.
I'm trying to think of somebody that would be around in that time period.
No, don't worry
besides
about that
Captain
time
America.
period.
No,
Oh,
don't
It's
worry
like
about
I
time.
said,
We aren't
Star
actually
Killer
gonna
would
use their-
definitely be one that I'd really go for.
It's a time error. It's just
Who is it? Let me look him up.
We're going with time era and
Galen
general
Merrick
power.
or Star Killer. You could put in either name and it would get it.
Star Killer?
Yeah.
Star Killer.
But it's depending on which game you go for, the second or the first one, it's anywhere from a single to double lightsabers is what he carries. And he's
That's gonna be way too. I'm not
outrageous
gonna let you
amount.
be a Jedi, are you nuts? That is way too powerful.
bless you.
Bless you.
just hellacious amount of light.
Blue.
I mean, even,
I white
Yellow.
green either allow either the force of some sort or another or
What I miss?
a lightsaber, but not both.
I burped. I said blue.
I
Green.
said yellow.
I said a color. I don't remember.
Do it.
Yeah, it was.
Green?
Either one of us said green, one of us said yellow. I don't remember
right
which.
now. I'm paying attention to this conversation at hand.
Sex noise.
We're all telling you to do it.
Not here.
Okay.
That works.
Dude,
No,
are
I
you a
can't-
guy?
I've
have
done it in-
never said not here. Haley has. I have never.
I've done it in my old high school's auditorium. I've done it in
Okay,
movie
I-
theater with our best friend sitting next to us.
I've
Never
done it
in the
And the
theater.
graveyard.
in the library's outside common area. What would that be called?
Which one's the mic?
I don't even know.
Oh, that'd be a
My
courtyard.
teeth. Courtyard. Thank you.
It's right there. I don't know though, because I'm still picking myself up. Someone else say something. No, away from me.
Hello?
I have no idea where it is.
Alright, I was gonna say,
Isn't this it right here? Yeah, that's definitely it. Look how
That's
much
it.
quieter
That-
that is.
Can you
I was
hear me?
gonna
Can
say,
you hear me? Can you
yeah.
hear me?
Hold on, you stop talking for a second.
I can't really say much about
Yeah,
not
I'm
here
still picking you up.
on thoughts because I've done it in backyard behind a grill and in the parents' basement, so.
Parents' bedroom.
Yeah, that can get a little weird.
Wasn't my parents.
Same. And I still felt a little weird. I'm like,
Yeah, I have no worry about my parents hearing this.
same. I have no worry about her parents hearing it, so I don't give a fuck.
They won't hear it either. She doesn't listen to these.
Nobody listens to this. We do
I'm
this
waiting-
share out of our own freaking.
I'm
Debbie
waiting
might
for our
listen to
comic
it.
book argument.
It's
be-
gonna be up there. It's just it decided no. Fuck you, Josh. I'm not going to save. But I tried to
think of
say I was trying to
somebody.
edit something else. So I was waiting for it to save so I could edit that and get that out. But no, it's just like no. Fuck you. I was like screw you.
I'm trying to go based off of somebody with comics that's heavy into melee.
Sabretooth, Wolverine.
No, not like.
Not melee. Melee.
I'm talking like
Freaking
The
swords
Executioner.
and shit like
yeah,
that.
Executioner.
The Executioner from
Mhm.
Thor.
Let's see.
That guy is
I'm
fucking
down.
badass.
I'm
I'd
down.
go Helheim for or
I'm down.
the one with the
I'm-
giant sword.
Yeah.
That would be more close to what I'd go for, but
He's all-seeing.
Yeah, but he's also blind. He's physically blind.
Yeah.
See, that's where I
but
thought
he's
you were gonna make
all-seeing.
me go. The new storyline.
Oh, I might have that come in later, but not right away. That's too mean to do right away.
I still need to find you the fourth book.
That's
No.
something, if you become too powerful, I start to do that to you. If anyone comes into more power, I'm going to start pulling tricks out of my butt.
Once I get the money, once I'm working again, I'm gonna get the prequel to that.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna get what led up to that, so I can see what happened.
Yeah.
And once I find book 4, I'll let you use it.
Sweet. Which one did you say you wanted back?
I'm gonna need 3 back.
3. Alright.
I have 2 copies of 1 and 2.
Alright.
I'm trying to think on this. This is actually giving me a headache right now.
Because Webhead had 1 and 2. Then I went to Comically Speaking, and they had all 4 as a
Images
series.
for Marvel Universe.
But
Let's see.
Because when you come down to it, you can purely go based off of like the kind of character I would go for in this would be more of the two-handed, medium to short swords, and just enough strength to just at high speed smash through stuff.
Yeah, I'll definitely give this a try.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm looking at the sounds.
I was also thinking about. I really want someone to have a flight ability.
Gambit to a extent
not have
does.
He
To an
does not
extent.
even close to have flight. He has very good parkour skills.
That's why I said to an extent.
That
It's
is
very
not flying.
stretching it.
That's not
But
flying. He
you-
can
you'd
jump
want it- you'd
pretty
want a-
far.
You'd want a Superman flying.
Superman flying or like Hawkman.
Okay, well,
Archangel.
Superman was the first thing that came to my mind with flying.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
But I wouldn't. It doesn't. That like if you have wings or like fucking
Thor.
Falcon.
Thor can fly.
Thor throws his hammer and the hammer pulls him.
He can fly.
He's a god.
you know, just
Fly.
fly.
Thor's also
Yeah,
one
he
more.
does. He uses it like a helicopter. He can fly.
No, he does this to get momentum and then throws it and that's
Yeah.
to pull him.
Shut
That's exactly
Shut up.
how that
Shut up.
works.
But at
It's
the
not like
same-
he's sitting there in the air.
And then he can make it float in there and hold himself off of it.
But at the same time,
That's how they justify that.
He can basically fly.
for the same count you said no to Spawn, you'd have to say no to Thor as well.
Said the kid in the helmet.
Wait, what?
He could basically fly. Said the kid in the helmet. For those of you that can't see right now, Dusty is sitting there with a motorcycle helmet on.
No, there's
This
no.
video is just audio. See, again, helmet.
Would you like a window?
To lick.
Oh dear
I'll
God.
take my Xbox.
Oh God.
Am I coming back over this weekend?
Yeah.
Then I'm leaving my bag and Xbox
Okay.
here. I don't need it for tonight.
I want to do, if whoever we have here this weekend, I want to do a small show. Just tacking on the end of this. Granted, we're already now, but do I have a couple questions I want to do?
Okay.
But that's it. We're running over an hour right now. I might tack it on the last week's actually. That's another finished show.
That's true.
So,
Good night, Gotham.
like Joel said,
Stay awesome, Gotham.